Internet news with no filter. Welcome to News Sesh. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're diving into a really important topic. So, Ralph Lauren, the brand that built its empire on polo shirts, yacht energy, and the American dream filtered through beige tones, has entered TikTok. And not quietly either. Every December, Ralph Lauren launches a new holiday campaign across social media. But this time, they went full TikTok. Short videos, moody lighting, vintage filters, and enough cable-knit sweaters to clothe a small country. Their TikToks show impossibly perfect families sipping cocoa beside glowing fireplaces. Beautiful 20-somethings laughing in slow motion in the snow. A dog wearing a sweater that probably costs more than your rent. It's all soft piano, warm lighting, and captions about the meaning of togetherness. But the problem isn't that it's pretty, it's that it's hollow. The vibe screams cozy family moment, but the goal is crystal clear: move product. Every scarf, every glass, every snowflake is meticulously staged for sale. It's holiday marketing pretending to be emotional storytelling. And it's not just Ralph Lauren, it's every brand now. Let's talk about why these ads feel so fake, even when they look so good. The Ralph Lauren aesthetic has always been aspirational. For decades, their entire brand identity was built around a lifestyle you could buy into. You weren't just buying a sweater, you were buying a fantasy. A fireplace, a horse, a sense of belonging to this timeless, upper-class version of America. But TikTok broke that illusion. Social media thrives on authenticity, or at least the illusion of it. It's about relatability, humor, chaos. And when a brand like Ralph Lauren, known for rigid perfection, tries to be relatable, the result is deeply uncanny. Their TikToks are like, here's our model pretending to wrap presents while wearing a $900 cashmere turtleneck. It's absurd. It's the aesthetic of wealth dressed up as wholesomeness. We're supposed to feel nostalgic, but it just reminds us of how performative modern holiday spirit has become. Ralph Lauren isn't dumb. They know what they're doing. The brand has mastered the art of emotional nostalgia. Every ad is dripping in faux memory. They use film grain filters, flickering candles, and timeless music to make their videos feel like old family home movies. But instead of authenticity, you get aspiration, this stylized version of joy that's just out of reach.
And it works.
Because nostalgia is powerful, especially during the holidays, when people are vulnerable, reflective, maybe even lonely. The brand's message is basically, remember when life felt simple? When family meant everything? When the world was soft and golden? You can feel that again. Just buy our sweater. It's psychological manipulation wrapped in ribbon. They sell emotion, then price it at luxury rates. Here's where it gets fascinating. Luxury brands used to live in glossy magazines and high-end commercials. TikTok, on the other hand, is chaotic, unfiltered, and full of Gen Z humor. So when Ralph Lauren steps into that space, it's like watching your wealthy uncle try to use slang at dinner. It's weird. It's forced. But they have to do it because relevance equals profit. Luxury brands are terrified of aging out of culture. They're desperate to stay in the algorithm to attract the next generation of buyers. So now Ralph Lauren is making relatable TikToks. You know the kind. Models pretending to laugh over hot chocolate cut to slow pans of embroidered mittens. It's all staged spontaneity. And yet, despite how cringe it is, it's working. Their views are high. Their engagement's up. People in the comments are like, ugh, this is my dream life. Which means the brand has successfully repackaged wealth and class aspiration into digestible, viral nostalgia. That's not just marketing. That's cultural engineering. The genius of campaigns like Ralph Lauren's is that they don't just sell desire, they sell inadequacy. Every time you scroll past one of those perfect Christmas moments, it quietly whispers, your life doesn't look like this. But it could. That's the emotional hook. They make you feel like you're missing out on something intangible, the warmth, the family, the peace, and then they attach that feeling to a product. You're not buying a sweater. You're buying belonging. You're not buying a candle. You're buying comfort. It's manipulation so subtle it feels wholesome. And the craziest part? We participate willingly because we want to believe that buying things can make life feel meaningful again. That's the real dark magic of holiday capitalism. It doesn't force you. It seduces you. Let's talk about the concept of brand humanity. Corporations don't have souls, but every December, they try really hard to pretend they do. They start posting sentimental TikToks about community and giving back. They put out videos of employees laughing together or real customers opening gifts. But behind the soft piano music and diverse casting, there's always the same underlying motive: sales. Even the charity collaborations come with fine print, a fraction of profits, capped at a certain amount, conveniently during the peak shopping season. So when Ralph Lauren posts about spreading warmth this holiday, it's not about community. It's about consumer attention. The warmth is artificial, like a fake fireplace on an LED screen. TikTok made authenticity valuable, so now brands are cosplaying authenticity. You'll see, behind the scenes, videos of Ralph Lauren employees decorating a tree. It looks spontaneous, but it's perfectly lit. You'll see family dinner scenes that are actually model shoots. Every real moment has been storyboarded, and it's wild how well it works. People want to believe it's real, because if it's real, then their emotional connection to the brand feels justified. This is how corporations maintain loyalty, not through quality, but through simulated relatability. Ralph Lauren doesn't just sell you clothes, it sells you a persona. And TikTok has become the perfect place to blur that line between consumer and character. Holiday capitalism hits different. It's the one time of year when buying things feels morally justified. It's for Christmas. It's for family. It's for the vibes. And brands know that. Ralph Lauren's TikToks lean hard into emotional triggers: family, nostalgia, generosity, love, because these are the values we all crave in December. But they don't give you those things. They sell you symbols of those things. It's like emotional fast food, comforting, quick, but ultimately empty. And it's everywhere. TikTok has become the world's biggest digital mall, and your For You page is the food court. This is where things get tricky because the line between marketing and art has basically evaporated. Ralph Lauren's holiday campaign looks cinematic. It's beautifully shot, well edited, emotionally scored. It could pass as short film content. And that's the point. The ad isn't trying to feel like an ad anymore. It's trying to feel like a memory. But that's where it becomes dangerous, because you stop recognizing it as manipulation. You think you're being inspired when you're being sold to. It's not entertainment. It's engineered emotional design. We've entered an era where corporations are the new storytellers, and the stories always end with a checkout link. If you read the comments on these videos, they're fascinating. Half the people are genuinely enchanted. This makes me want to live in a Ralph Lauren ad. This is the definition of cozy Christmas. The other half? Utterly cynical. Imagine pretending to be relatable in a $2,000 outfit. This feels like propaganda for sweater weather. And both sides are right. Because Ralph Lauren's marketing strategy is beautiful. But it's also a reflection of everything hollow about influencer-era capitalism. We crave realness so much that even fake emotion feels comforting. That's why these campaigns work. They scratch the itch of belonging in a world that keeps selling it back to us. Ralph Lauren is just a symptom. The disease is platform capitalism. TikTok has made aesthetic consumption a cultural norm. Everything is a vibe, a brand, a potential purchase. There's a Christmas aesthetic, a soft winter core, a luxury lodge look. Ralph Lauren didn't invent this, they're just cashing in on it. The app has taught us to consume feelings visually, to buy into moods instead of moments. And when you live in a world where attention equals money, emotion becomes the most profitable commodity of all. So how do we survive cringy holiday capitalism? Not by boycotting everything, but by becoming conscious consumers. Enjoy the pretty ads. They're art in their own way. But recognize what they are. Tools of persuasion. Ask yourself, do I actually want this, or do I just want to feel what this ad made me feel? Is this cozy, or am I being comforted by commerce? Can I make my own version of this joy without buying it? When you start to question, the illusion breaks. You realize the warmth doesn't come from the sweater, it comes from the people you're with. The lights, the laughter, the small, unfiltered moments that no algorithm can recreate. Ralph Lauren's holiday TikTok campaign is the perfect metaphor for modern capitalism, polished, emotional, and empty all at once. It's beautiful, but in a way that feels rehearsed. It's festive, but in a way that feels fake. It's not joy, it's the performance of joy. And maybe that's the lesson this holiday season. We can admire the aesthetic without mistaking it for truth. Because the best moments? They're the ones that don't need filters, hashtags, or branded hashtags like hashtag #RLPoloHoliday. They're messy, imperfect, unmonetized, and real.
So yeah,
Enjoy your hot cocoa. Watch your favorite TikToks. But remember, not every cozy fire is made for warmth. Some are made for sales. And that's a wrap, guys. Like if you did, subscribe for more fun.
see ya.